Chapter 15. The Joy of Learning and Wisdom. Section 1. Opening. The Wisdom Frequency. Welcome back to the Wisdom Lab on NovaLogos Audio English. In our previous session, we unmasked the identity of folly, the stubborn refusal to be a student of reality. Today, we move toward the light. We are exploring the antidote to stagnation. Chapter 15. The Joy of Learning and Wisdom. In our modern society, we often view education as a means to an end, a degree, a higher salary, or social status. Once we finish school, we feel that our learning phase is over. But wisdom suggests that learning is not a phase, it is a posture of the soul. True wisdom is found in the joy of being a lifelong disciple. It is the spiritual practice of keeping the mind open and the heart humble. To stop learning is to stop growing, and to stop growing is to begin the slow decay into folly. Our foundational principle for this chapter comes from the Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. Notice that this command is not directed at the ignorant, but at the wise. Wisdom is a unique treasure. The more you have, the more you realize you need. Today, we will discuss how to turn the pursuit of knowledge into the practice of wisdom, aligning what the head knows with how the heart lives. Section 2. The verses, Wisdom in Multi-Angles. To cultivate the joy of learning, we must view it as a sacred partnership. Let's look at the beauty of this pursuit in the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verses 32 to 37. If you are willing, my son, you can be disciplined, and if you apply your mind, you will become clever. If you love to listen, you will gain knowledge, and if you pay attention, you will become wise. Stand in the company of the elders. Who is wise? Attach yourself to such a one. Be ready to listen to every godly discourse. Let your mind reflect on the statutes of the Lord. This passage presents a ladder of learning. It begins with the will, if you are willing, and moves through discipline and listening. Notice the community aspect. Stand in the company of the elders. Learning is not a solitary confinement of books. It is a shared journey of godly discourse. The joy comes from attaching yourself to truth and letting your mind reflect on things that are eternal. Now, let's see the practical application of this knowledge in Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. Again, the emphasis is on the receptivity of the righteous. A righteous man is not someone who is perfect, but someone who is teachable. Vishafta, joy. Here is the joy of increase. Every day is an opportunity to add a new layer of understanding to the foundation of your life. Finally, consider the relationship between learning and inner life in Sirach, chapter 21, verse 15. When a man of understanding hears a wise saying, he praises it and adds to it. The wise man does not just consume information. He praises it, he recognizes its beauty, and then he adds to it by applying it to his own experience. This is the difference between academics and the wise. Academics store data. The wise live the data. Section 3. Modern Scenarios. Wisdom in the Wild. How do we maintain the spirituality of lifelong education in our busy, digital wild? Scenario A. The expert trap. Imagine you have reached a high level in your career. You are the one people come to for answers. It's easy to stop listening. You start to feel that increase in learning is for the juniors, not for you. The Wisdom Lab reminds you, let the wise hear and increase in learning. The moment you stop being a student, you begin to lose your edge. The joy of learning in this stage is the humility to learn from everyone, even your subordinates. By staying teachable, you transform your IB, expert, status from a static title into a dynamic influence. You remain a man of understanding who adds to the wisdom he hears. Scenario B. Information consumption versus soul digestion. We live in an era where we can listen to 5 podcasts a day and read 100 articles. We are collecting knowledge, but are we practicing wisdom? Wisdom suggests you reflect on the statutes of the Lord. The joy of learning isn't found in the volume of information, but in its alignment with your life. Instead of just scrolling through data, take one wise saying and live it for a week. See how it changes your reactions, your speech, and your peace. This is the transition from obtaining information to obtaining guidance. Section 4. The Wisdom Paradox. The complexity of knowledge versus the simplicity of wisdom. Now, let's explore the wisdom paradox, knowledge versus practice. The paradox is that you can know 1,000 rules and still be a fool, or you can know one truth and be a master. The balance point, accumulation versus application. 1. The error of the information hoarder. This person loves the feeling of learning. They buy every book and attend every seminar, but their life never changes. They have accumulated knowledge, but they haven't increased in learning because their heart is not aligned with their head. They are data-rich but wisdom-poor. 2. The error of the action-only activist. This person thinks they don't need to study. They just want to do. They are unwilling to be disciplined by deep study. Because they lack the statutes to reflect on, their actions often lack depth and sustainability. The desirable path, we call this integrated learning. You love to listen, but you listen with the intent to change. You view every piece of knowledge as a seed that must be planted in the soil of your daily actions. You don't learn to know more, you learn to be more. Your joy is the cleverness that comes from a mind that is constantly being refreshed by the truth. Section 5. Language Masterclass, the Structure of Wisdom. Let's look at the English of lifelong growth and reflection. A. Apply your mind. In English, to apply, verb, your mind means to focus with great intensity and purpose. It's not a passive glance, it's an active engagement. Practice saying, I will apply my mind to this challenge until I find the wisdom within it. B. Attach yourself. This is a strong verb for connection. To attach yourself to such a one, the wise, means to be a disciple. It implies a close, intentional relationship for the purpose of growth. Circa reflect on. To reflect, verb, means more than just thinking. It's like a mirror. You hold the truth up to your life and see where they match or where they don't. In English, reflection is the bridge between knowledge and wisdom. Section 6. Closing. Seal the word. As we finish our 15th session in the Wisdom Lab, I want to challenge you. What have you learned today that has moved from your head to your heart? Wisdom is not a trophy you win. It is a spring that must be constantly fed. Be willing to be disciplined. Be ready to listen to every godly discourse. And most importantly, find joy in the fact that you will never finish learning. That is the secret to a bright soul and a sharp mind. Remember the words of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5. Let the wise hear and increase in learning. Be wise enough to remain a student. In chapter 16, we will look at a major obstacle to this growth. We will explore the temptation of sloth and how to manage the gift of time without falling into the trap of meaningless busyness or spiritual laziness. If you are ready to find joy in the journey of wisdom, please like this video and subscribe to NovaLogos Audio English. Let's keep growing, one truth at a time. Until next time, stay teachable and walk in peace. Goodbye.